Landon, this is one of my favorite books from when I was a kid. It's called Skippyjon Jones by Judy Schachner. Every morning, Skippyjon Jones woke up with the birds. And this did not please his mother at all. "Get yourself down here right now, Mr. Kittenbritches," ordered Mama Junebug Jones. "No self-respecting cat ever slept with a flock of birds," she scolded, "or ate worms or flew or did his laundry with Miss Doohickeys' bird bath." The lecture went on and on as usual. "You've got to do some serious thinking before you leave this room, Mr. Fuzzy Pants," said his mother, "about just what it means to be a cat, not a bird, not a mouse or a grouse, not a moose or a goose, not a rat or a bat. You need to think about just what it means to be a Siamese cat. And stay out of your closet," she added, closing the bedroom door. But once he was alone, Skippyjon Jones began to bounce and bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. "Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones and I bounce on my bed, and once or 6 times I land on my head." On his way down to earth from a gigantic big bounce, Skippyjon Jones shot past his bedroom mirror. "Holy guacamole!" exclaimed Skippyjon Jones. "What was that?" So he went up again, and again it appeared. Then, using his very best Spanish accent, he said, "My ears are too big for my head. My head is too big for my body. I am not a Siamese. I am a Chihuahua." Back on land, Skippyjon Jones climbed into his toy box and rifled through some of his old junk. After he put on his mask and sword and climbed up to his mouse, Skippyjon Jones began to sing in muy soft voice. "My name is Skippito Escrito." Clap, clap. Giant clap. Clap, clap. "I fear not a single bandito. My manners are mellow. I'm sweet like the jello. I get the job done, yes indeedo." Back in the kitchen, Jujubee, Jezebel, and Jillyboo Jones were helping Mama Junebug Jones make lunch. "Can Skippyjon Jones come down from his room now?" asked Jujubee. "No," answered Mama Junebug Jones. "Mr. Fluffernutter is still thinking." In fact, Skippyjon wasn't thinking about being a Siamese cat at all. With a walk into his closet, his thoughts took him down a lonesome desert road, far, far away in old Mexico. Not long into his journey, a misterioso band of Chihuahuas appeared out of the dust. "Ay, caramba! Who goes there?" asked Skippyjon Jones. "We go by the name of Los Chimichangos," growled Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. "Who are you?" "I am El Scapito, the great sword fighter," said Skippyjon Jones. When the smallest of the small ones spoke up, "Why the mosquito, dude?" asked Poquito Tito. "I go incognito," said Skippito. "Do you like rice and beans?" asked Pintolito. "Si, I love mice and beans," said Skippito. "He might be the dog of our dreams," whispered Rosalita. "Perhaps," said Tia Mia, "if he knows the secret password." Leaning toward Don Diego, El Scapito half sneezed, half spoke the secret password into Chihuahua's very large ear. "Ay, chupichu!" "Bless you," said Don Diego. "Gracias," said Skippito. "Then it is true," decreed Don Diego. "Yip, yippee, yippito! It's the end of Alfredo Bozito. Skippito is here. We have nothing to fear. Adios to the bad Bumblebito." Then all of the Chimichangos went crazy loco. First, they had a fiesta. Then they had a siesta. After waking up, the chimichangos got down to serious business. Using his paw, Don Diego drew a picture in the sand of the great bumblebeetle for Skippyjon to see. A hush grew over the chimichangos so great, no one could hear a whisker drop. Alfredo Bazito, whispered the crowd. El blimpo bumblebeetle bandito. Sí, said Poquito Tito. The bandito steals our frijoles. Not your beans, cried Skippyjon, outraged. Sí, Poquito continued. Red beans, black beans, Boston baked and blue, cocoa, coffee, kidney beans, pinto, and jelly too. And now he comes for us, Poquito added. ¿Por qué? Asked Skippyjon. Because we are full of the beans too. Then Don Diego stood tall and his most somber voice declared, Yo quiero frijoles. Huh? Asked Skippyjon. The dude just wants his beans back, said Poquito Tito. And you are the dog for the job. Me? Asked Skippyjon. Then all of the chimichangos turned towards Skippyjon, the great sword fighter. But poor Skippyjon had no time for a plan, because in the blink of an eye, a gigantic shadow darkened the landscape. The chimichangos scattered in all directions. Vamos, Skippyjon, or it is you the bandito will eato, they cried. Skippyjon stood his ground, but his legs shimmied and shook like the jello, and his teeth chattered like the castanets. Then in a muy soft voice he said, My name is Skippyjon Fresquito. I fear not a single bandito. But Alfredo Bazito flew straight for Skippyjon until the bean-eating bandito hovered only inches away from the great sword fighter's face. Holy frijoles! Cried Skippyjon as he thrust his sword into the air. Pop! Suddenly, landing on Skippyjon's sword, went the bandito, and quicker than one could say Chihuahuas, cheese, and crackers, every kind of bean came spilling out of Alfredo Bazito, the bumblebeetle bandito. When all the doggies burst into song, Yip, yippee, yippito! Our hero is El Skippyjon. He's the dog of our dreams who delivered the beans, and now we can make our burritos. But back at home, there was such a ruckus coming from Skippyjon Jones' room that Mama Junebug Jones and the girls just had to find out what was going on. They raced down the hall to the kitty boy's room. Bangito, Crushito, Puppito, Skippyjo! Just in time to see Skippyjon's closet exploding. Then out flew Candy, Beanbag Doggies, and the kitty boy with his birthday piñata on his head. Skippyjon Jones! Everyone cried. Hola, muchachitas, he said in a muy soft voice. Mama Junebug Jones lifted up Skippyjon and covered his head with furry, purry kisses. What am I going to do with you, Mr. Cocoa Pugs? She scolded. That night, when he was supposed to be going to sleep, Skippyjon began to bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones with mind of my own, and I'll bounce on my bed for hours. I know I'm a cat, but forget about that. Say good night, Skippyjon Jones, called his mama. Buenas noches, mis amigos, said Skippyjon Jones. Good night, Landon.